Hi, welcome to what I've been watching as well as reading in the last couple of weeks. And this, what a crazy world. Just finished this film. Wow, thoroughly enjoyable. This one is Freddie and the Dreamers, Joe Brown, Susan Morn, Marty Wilde, and Harry H. Corbett. It's from Network and black and white. But wow, what a film with all the scenes of London, the East End. There's some great scenes in the market, also some great music, sort of the attitudes, just basic pre-mod period. Pre-mod, but sort of not really Ted's either. This is just early 60s. Also got Denmark Street, of course, with Forbidden Planet, Russell Square, all those sort of places. Just really quite changed. And I just loved all the performances in this. Only disappointment being not many extras, but it did have a really nice and unusual booklet. And that's this one. Got a little booklet here. It's got all the promotional material. I mean, just so odd. Just all the promotion, all the advertisements, all the sort of publicity ads and so on. No actual text about the film or anything, but also some pictures there. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Really, really sharp, nice quality, some great songs. One song that was quite painful to listen to. Really weird. Not one that's probably ever going to be ever played around. If you watch the film, you will know exactly. As soon as it comes, you think, no, that's not good. But still, it really shows, of course, the time and the place. It's a fascinating film. Really, really worth watching. July 1963 it came out, just really before the Beatles took off. You actually see a slightest mention of the Beatles. There's a lovely bit advert for Twist and Shout in just near the end. And that's just great to see because that sort of changed everything at that point. Thoroughly enjoyed one episode from this. Now I will watch all the episodes probably. Now this weird, this is season 2. There is actually season 1 and 3, but I haven't got those. I just got this one because I noticed about £10 for season 2. And I loved the old Lost in Space, just brilliant. The picture quality of the DVDs apparently was pretty awful. Obviously online, pretty awful. This, first rate, super sharp. Really brilliant sound, really great little stories. The one I watched anyway, I'm quite certain all the rest will be great fun as well. The one I watched was this green woman that was floating around, and of course Dr. Smith gets into trouble as usual. The rest of the cast didn't really have much of a role. Billy Mummy did though, that was about it. What's this one? I love this one. Deep Red, this is one I bought from Keck, and £6. I'm always going to Keck. I mean, I could mention all the various ones I've bought in Keck. I buy too many in Keck. But this one, Deep Red, I've never seen it before. David Hemmings, and he was great. Musician, and it's all just beautiful music, stunning, again, Blu-ray, Galileo masterpiece. And I definitely think it is. It's got some great extras as well. I love all the various interviews and things on there. It just was brilliant. David Hemmings was great as well. I've never been a mega fan of David Hemmings, but this really sort of, wow, that was a revelation to see that. Also, I didn't know about his Hemdale. Just was surprised by that. That was something I was reading about, and I thought, you know what? Hemdale, of course, everywhere. Just all started with Daly and Hemmings. This was great. Final programme. Very odd film. Perhaps not for everyone. This is 1973. I was quite surprised. I somehow thought it was a 60s film. Michael Moorcock, the final programme. Jerry Cornelius, of course. The end or the beginning. And it's strange. Mad scientists. They want to create the perfect human. And there's some really good characters in this. Very odd hallucinations. All that sort of weird sort of, it was odd. It was an odd film. And I loved it. I loved it says here, in a far off future, mankind is in a state of decay. Didn't really feel far off future. I mean, I honestly thought it was not at all, but I guess maybe it was, but not particularly a vast amount of extras. Just an interview, which was quite a good one, with Jenny Runacre, and of course Kim Newman. He's in everything. Kim Newman and Fust, obviously the director, on the final programme. And Italian title sequence, I didn't see the point of that. Did not see the point with that because it just was much the same as what it was actually in the film. Sometimes you think, surely they could find something else. There must be other things they could put in. But I did enjoy it, finally seen it, because I've never seen that one. It's one of those ones I love the Jerry Cornelius stories, but I've never seen the film. This was superb though. Colossus, The Forbidden Project. Not particularly anyone, I've seen the actor before and some of the other people, but was the ultimate supercomputer, creates the ultimate terror in the chilling, real science fiction suspense thriller. Computer genius Charles Forbin creates a massive computer complex. I think they were putting a bit too much reliance on Mr. Forbin, Dr. Forbin, or whatever. It was just really, and you seal it off, you make certain, and then you have, it was, but wow, seminal science fiction, sci-fi, I hate that way it says sci-fi, science fiction, cult classic, it certainly was. I absolutely loved it. It was really well done. All the developments in it was, I could imagine that sort of thing that you would end up the ultimate control. It's just stunning nightmare, as it says. This didn't have a huge amount of extras, audio commentary. I must admit, I haven't played that yet. Very rarely play the audio commentary until next time. When I watch the film, I'll put it on when I see it again. I like to see the film all the way through. Then I'll sort of watch it with the audio commentary so I find out a bit more about the film. But I must admit, generally, I don't always play those straight away. Stills Gallery, original promotional material. That was odd, but still very good. 99 minutes, one disc in there. Love this one. Falling Down. This was just great. I saw this film way back in the 90s. I think it was about whatever it was when it came, 1992. I was quite surprised. I somehow thought it was a 1980s-ish, 80s period. But it was great. Michael Douglas. Robert Duvall was excellent as well. That was the thing that I must have been, when I watched it the first time, I thought, obviously, Michael Douglas, the star. But Robert Duvall is the star, the cop, on his last day. And Michael Douglas goes on the sort of going across town, doesn't go on a rampage, that's probably not the right word, pays for things and does various things, baseball bats involved, etc. But this is, abandons his car and it all starts from there. Really, really worth watching. So you can really feel that sort of, that world crashing down. I'm loving this book. I've done a review already. It's one of those books I just keep picking up and just reading through. West 11, all those sort of things. Come play with me on the buses, all the millions and millions of films. It's a curse, this book, because there's so many great films in it. You see, must find that one, must get that. Melody, there you got Percy. I don't remember that one, Percy. Quest for Love. Now, I haven't seen that one. I've seen the other one, the one that came later, Samuel West one, with Kate Ashford, which I enjoyed. Brilliant. I actually saying that, I think I must have seen it. Yes, I have. Joan Collins. Quest for Love. Lovers. You're looking at an animal, sitting target, and so on. But really worth getting this book if you want to know British cinema, as it says. It's just a lot and lots of information about all the various films. I'm loving this book. This one is a real amazing one. The Real and the Romantics. English art between two world wars. Really fascinating. Francis Spalding. Lots and lots of text, but lots of information, lots of things. And actually well written. It's so easy to sort of go through it. And lots, of course, great paintings as well. Paul Nash, love his work. When I saw an exhibition at Tate, Paul Nash one. Really didn't know much about Paul Nash. It was only because of Dave McKean. He's talking about, obviously, in his book, Black Dog, which is a masterpiece, Black Dog. But this book is just great. Like I say, not many pictures, but still has got a lot of great information. Nice, thick, chunky book, and you can see that. I mean, some of the paintings are just absolutely superb. Very enjoyable book. Now, I'm just going to watch this. I haven't watched it yet. It's going to be next thing to watch. The Amazing Miss London. I watched this years and years ago, and I've seen it probably 5 or 6, 10 times. Diana Dawes is in it, brilliant. Lynn Fredericks, brilliant. I mean, everyone in this is just a great film, and it's just great to finally get it on Blu-ray. Should have been 4K. I don't know why they just didn't release it 4K, but still, brand new scan and restoration. Also got Madeline Smith. Oh, right, of course, remember. Amazing Sarah Latimer. And, of course, Mark Gatiss. I think Mark Gatiss is going to become sort of like Kim Newman. He turns up quite a few things. He's Mr. Amazing Mr. Blunden. I really like Mark Gatiss, so it's always good to see. 2014 archive, BFI Q&A as well. So that's good. Actually, I was looking at the BFI. I was thinking maybe I could join that again. I used to be a member of the BFI. Loved going to films. I mean, literally, I would go, I was in London. I was living in London, and I would go to films all the time. It was one regular thing. We'd watch whole seasons of things. Just great. Lots. I'd love to get the booklets. I was looking at the booklet. Depressingly now, I don't know if it's actually physical copy now. You just get the PDF now. But I was looking at all the films. I think maybe I might go and see. But actually, I was thinking about Prince Charles Cinema because I do love to go and see them 35mm or 70mm. Just something about watching it in that. I mean, 4K restored looks amazing. I love 4K restored. But somehow, when you watch them in the, obviously, that's how I remember watching most of these films. Obviously, 35mm or whatever. And it was just great seeing it. It's just very strange watching them back in that format again. Now, I've been thoroughly enjoying these. Sadly, there never seems to be an issue 7 or 8 or 9, which is busy because I really love this book as well as this one. And I've thoroughly enjoyed reading The Best of Bedabbled, British horror. And it's got just great selection of films. Talks about loads and loads of Stranger in a Strange Land. Not that film, but loads of other films. But this is the best of British horror and cult cinema. Really worth checking out. Sort of connected with, of course, that Offbeat. Now, let's just go to the next one. Now, this is a slightly more, just came today, this one. I haven't read it yet. I've flicked through it a few times and it's great. Virtually impossible to actually read what it says. 60s British cinema. It's actually obviously a library, old ex-library book. But it's got loads of mentions of lots of films that I've not seen. The World 10 times over. Never seen that film. So that's another possible one. And this one, Live Now, Pay Later. Oh, yes. I have seen that one. That is the one I've been looking for. Live Now, Pay Later. Anyway, that was a very odd film, if I remember rightly. So that one will be worth checking out. Also, you got here, Joanna. I've never seen that. Never seen that film. Love in the City. Obviously, all the swinging 60 films. Very, that sort of period, of course, got a lot dismissed quite a bit. Society of Vampires, The Kiss of the Vampire. And this one, Blind Date. Never seen that either. And also The Deadly Affair. Oh, Harry Andrews there. Anyway, so it's got a lot of information. Also about, obviously, the various references to other books and things as well about British cinema. Now, this book, I'm not so certain, but I bought it and I'm pleased I got it, but I will be doing a review of it. Alfred Hitchcock storyboards. I was expecting more storyboards. I mean, there's our storyboards in it, of course. It would be weird calling a book storyboard, wouldn't it? But it does sort of have some, but it doesn't have as much. It's got a lot of text. Lots of these big chunky sections here. Cast and crew. The whole page taken up by that. I would have preferred actual storyboards of that bit. And also a description, a synopsis, plot summary. Really? I mean, I don't think that you've got a book that's about, storyboards, and then you go and put a summary of the thing. And I suspect most people buying this book probably know the films or have seen the films. I can't say I know them all. I have to say I know those ones. Know all those ones reasonably well, but there are a couple in here that I'm not so familiar with. And it does mention somewhere that the ones that they've got. I think they've got actually the one I would love to have seen, Frenzy. Maybe they just didn't. You can see the list there. Marnie, Torn Curtain. I'm not saying I'm really familiar. And Shadow of a Doubt. Can't say I've seen that recently. I must have seen it, but I can't recall it particularly. What happened in it. Now, onto my Peter Walker that I've been watching, and well, this was great. This now you can see obviously the Spanish version. Esque Frenia, Cuando tu mano izquierda no se ve, etc., etc. Well, anyway, luckily it's in English, because if it was in Spanish, I'd be sitting there going, yeah, okay, I can work about the tango, whatever, and those sort of things. They're more. I would have struggled a lot more. I'd have gone, no, it doesn't. It's in English. And I like buying these ones because quite often you find that you can't find them particularly easily in the English version. So often you have to resort to Italian or Spanish or German. And at least they're the same region B as the English ones, obviously. Great performances there. Lynn Fredericks is great. I always love Lynn Fredericks. And he's superb. Really, really great. I love his performance. And Stephanie Beacham, I really like that. She appears in a lot of Peter Walker films. And talking about Peter Walker, I splashed out and bought this, and a bit expensive. A lot. £79. But anyway, it's got, obviously not just for this booklet. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Some people do, I suspect. But you got here the Flesh and Blood show. You got all Schizo, of course, the same one. So that's that is actually included in that box, which I'm just going to show. But it's a really nice little booklet. You've obviously got all the bits and pieces of the films. Peter Walker, really, I mean, I didn't know anything about him till recently. So it's one of those ones you think, wow, produced some really unusual films. So it's like this one. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Now, the title's terrible. Die Screaming Marianne. I'm not certain why they chose that. They might as well called it sort of sauna, whatever. They could have called it anything, because I don't understand why it was called Die Screaming, personally. But Judy Huxtable's great. The judge here is just great. The whole film, Barry Evans is great. It's got some really good extras as well. And I love the one where it talks with Peter Walker. I think that's going to be a generic sort of interview with Peter Walker. It didn't actually mention the film, but it did have a really good one from Norman Langley on Die Screaming Marianne. I don't think that Sir Peter Walker particularly thought of it as one of the best ones, but I loved it. Set in the Algarve, really, really nice. Had a great scene in the sauna. Just, you can't beat good. I love saunas. So it was just, wow, sauna scene. You've got to have a sauna scene in a film. And I just thought it was great, really nice quality. Barry Evans, all the acting. They went back to London. The London scenes were great, because a lot of area of London I know very well. So it was really nice to see lots of those streets. And I thought, yes, changed a bit. Places, I thought, obviously it's never going to be the same. All the shops and everyone walks past. Just fascinating. So you got that. But here's the rest of the box. So let's just go through the rest of the box. I'm not going to bring them all out. You can see what's in. So you can see there, Schizo. It's got that one again. The film I got already, the one Spanish one. I don't know how good or the quality will be for that one. There's there, Lynn Fredericks, of course, and there's on the back there. Now it's also got some extras again, and this one is Barry asked Mr. Walter Q&A with the. It might be different. I don't know. I haven't watched it, so looking forward to see it. Schizophrenia, when the left hand. Yeah. Was good twists and turns all the way through. Now this was great. This is the first one that I've ever seen of Peter Walker's works that I'm familiar of anyway, with House of Mortal Sin. That was brilliant. Well, Susan Van Halligan and Stephanie Beacham, strangely enough, really, really good. Some of these other ones look a bit odd, sort of more slasher, sort of very unusual. I'm certain they're going to be very good, interesting. The comeback, I have no idea. You can see again, really great covers on these. Really good. I don't know some of the actors on that one. Some of these ones, that's all got, Pamela Stevenson. Wow. That's amazing. Bill Owen. Wow. Jack Jones. Of course, I know Jack Jones. Also, I know Bill Owen, of course. But he's also got, again, not very much. English Gothic. Now, I looked for that. The English Gothic book. I hope someone brings that out again, republishes that, because it's crazily expensive. And there are no books about, there's one book about Peter Walker, one or two maybe, but they're ridiculously expensive as well. So that's rather annoying. That's life. And this one, Twins of Evil. It was fun. Fun little film. Dennis Price, he was good. Peter Cushing, of course. Peter Cushing was absolutely terrible. Not acting-wise, he's great, the acting, but he's just really the uncle, the evil uncle, as obviously a puritanical. It's just terrible. It was good, really good to see. And the hammer elements of horror, etc., black humour, lurid sensuality, etc., etc. I wouldn't go as far as that. It wasn't particularly that much. But it's directed with characteristic style, the usual sort of thing. Now, it didn't have many extras. You had a PDF material, deleted scene, which was a bit nothing, and a few trailers. I would love to have a few more interviews and things. Why? Oh, why couldn't they have, got in touch with some of these people, have a bit of a chat? There must be a production stuff. The accountant, all those sort of things. I love those sort. All the music, the people that do the music, because it does mention a lot about the music. Some maybe, Kim Newman. Kim Newman, get Kim Newman. You always have to rely on Mark Gatiss. This one still was a very enjoyable little film. I mean, the vampire, the chief vampire, was pretty. Yeah, his performance was a bit sort of, but it was fun film, and I did enjoy it. I must admit, it's not one I probably rewatch too often, but it certainly was a decent. Now, I think the title's wrong, Twins of Evil. Sorry, that's a bit of a spoiler, but it just seems a bit, Why? Why call it that? I know it's a dramatic that obviously sells it, but it just, to me, I thought, no. But that's the same with lots of films. Quite often I think, why did they call it that when that doesn't make much sense? But that's what I've been watching of late. So what have you been watching? You've been seeing any good books you've been reading? Any sort of comic book, graphic novel? I'm sorry, I haven't been doing any sort of graphic novel or reviews particularly because I haven't seen any recently ones. I haven't bought that many books recently. I've been struggling to find ones that I really want. Now I'm going obviously to Comic Mart and I will pick up probably some books, hopefully some comics. So hopefully I'll be doing a comic haul. But I have to say that books for like omnibuses and things, I mean, obviously if you want certain periods of things, I would, but for the ones that I like, the 60s ones, 50s ones, and obviously the Fantagraphic books, hasn't been a huge amount for me to buy. And obviously if you don't see them, those things, I'm not going to just buy them for the sake of buying. So, but I will, when I pop into Gosh, I'm quite certain I will see some stuff. I think, I'll have a look. Also in Forbidden Planet, I'm quite certain I will see something there. But it has been, I think, quite slow for all the various. And a lot of things also I find that the distribution seems to be odd because I've got an order, and I'm just going to quickly fire up. Let's have a quick fire up my Amazon orders, pre-orders. Let's just quickly go through those. Can't remember everything I've pre-ordered. Let's just go there. Returns and I've got here we go around the mulberry bush. Got that on just coming tomorrow. The Peasants. Now I looked at that. That looks amazing. That's a film that's like painted film. I don't know if it's any good. The trailer looks amazing. I love that sort of style of thing. Apparently it's like Vincent van Gogh one which I've never seen. Seen bits of the trailer again, but that one looks really good. So I saw it in HMV and I thought, should I buy it? And then I didn't buy it. Underworld. I saw a really, really good sort of review on that, and I thought, okay, Kate Beckinsale one, I will pick that up. It was super cheap, £3.50, so I'll get that. My mate turned around and said about Tenet. He said, absolutely brilliant, sort of weird, sort of time backwards, whatever sort of film. And I had a quick look online on Amazon, and it was £7.95 for the 4K, and that is really good price for a 4K. Most 4Ks are ridiculously expensive, £29, £30, whatever, £20. But the 10 one, I thought, okay. And the Blu-ray was about £3.45. So I've got that on order now, and it hopefully will be coming tomorrow. I got a few other films I've done, so let's just quickly go. I'm waiting for Nicholas and Alexandra. That's Lynn Fredericks again, strange enough. And then, let's see, Complete Web of Horror. Someone mentioned that and said, what a great book. So I'm looking forward to it, but that's coming from France. Whether it turns up, I do not know. I hope it will, because sometimes I've ordered a lot recently when I've ordered these sort of things, the ones that don't get sort of distributed here. And then I suddenly find I get a cancellation in the order, or it just doesn't seem to ever come. So cross fingers, I am confident, hopefully, of getting Complete Web of Horror. Lots of people said it's a really good book, worth checking out. So I hope it is. It's got Bernie Wrights and all those sort of things. Just great artwork. And of course, it's got obviously the missing comics that didn't come out in the actual, when the comics came out. So that should be good. Also, Hands of the Ripper. Looking forward to that. I saw apparently when the Twins of Evil came out with Hands of the Ripper. Apparently they were double things. I love those ones. Double, you could go at the cinema, you get two films. And Hands of the Ripper looked really good. And I thought, it's got Anjard Rees. I love Anjard Rees. Of course, she was superb. Poldark. And also a few other films. I've got Pandorum. I don't know what that's going to be like. Probably rubbish. I saw the reviews. I thought, I'll give it a go. Falstaff. That's Chimes at Midnight. Orson Welles. I've got that today. That came today. That was, again, another one that's from Spain. Because all the UK base ones or whatever were all super expensive. And I thought, well, I'll get the foreign version of that. Obviously, it's in English. Obviously, Orson Welles. It's not in Spanish or anything, as far as I'm aware. So I'm looking forward to that. And also, got a load of another Now yearbook, 1982. And also I've got Tomorrow. which I have never seen, but it looks a really good sort of science fiction one with Olivia Newton-John even. On Oh Lucky Man, one of the best films from the 70s as far as I was concerned. Malcolm McDowell, absolute masterpiece. I've got that on DVD. Why it's not available on 4K or Blu-ray is baffling. So I just don't understand why that one is not. And The Highlander. I loved Highlander. Loved all the films other than the last couple. They were terrible beyond belief. Truly bad. But Highlander was great. I loved the TV series. Adrian Paul, masterpiece. Just great. I loved every episode of that. I don't know if that's... I think probably the Blu-rays or DVDs of that are probably quite hard to get now. And Dirty Harry collection, I got that. That came. And Not Yet Dispatched. That's a completely separate section. I've got this one, Music Lovers. I've got that on order. Richard Chamberlain and Oliver Reed, I believe. Also another book that I'm not convinced is going to come out anytime soon. It's been over and over again. The Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide to Lost Universes, Issue 2, Volume 2. And I think that should be good because I loved Volume 1 of Lost Universes. If you haven't got that, it's really worth checking out. I've done a review of that. I think it's just a brilliant, brilliant book. A really unusual way of doing it. Not sort of doing it as sort of like all the individual stories, but actually just as a themed universe. Now, it's not every single comic that's in a particular publisher or everything. It doesn't mention it. It doesn't have everything. But it's the universe of a particular thing like Captain Marvel. Those sort of things. This one I'm looking forward to, The Nancy Show. Celebration of the art of Ernie Bushmiller. Love Nancy comics. They're just brilliant, brilliant. And this was a catalogue for, some exhibition. And obviously in the States. And I've just got an order. I don't know when it's going to come. It's going to come supposedly at the end of July. So I'm really looking forward. And if you want to get a really good book about Nancy, I think that one probably is going to fulfill that. Certainly what I've read about it, the pictures I've seen from the catalogue online, you can obviously see that. And also another one I've got on order, Justice Society of America, For America and Democracy. That's one of the new DC finest ones. Apparently arriving 27th of December 2024. I do not believe that. It might come then, it might come in 2025. But the thing is, lots of Amazon prices of books have been listed as coming at the end of the year. All seemingly about the same time at the end of the year. So I can't truly believe that that's going to happen. So this is Justice Society of America. I don't even know what's included. It just mentions, obviously, the old Golden Age ones. I'd be very disappointed if it comes out to be the Justice Society of America, the ones that were done in the 70s. It would be great to have a volume, 600 pages of ones from the early period of that. I haven't got those. I've got one, I think, maybe two, of the DC Archives. Great series, DC Archives. I love those books, but I got rid of most of the Justice Society and regret that. Shouldn't have done that. So I really hope that this book is going to be absolutely amazing and hopefully it'll bring out a few more. And also I've got DC Finest Aquaman. That's coming out in 29th of January 2025. That might be more realistic. That hasn't changed in date. So hopefully that one will be the, obviously, Silver Age Aquaman. I would love it to be the Golden Age Aquaman because that's never been reprinted. So I don't know if that's ever going to come out. But I'm really hopeful for the DC Finest. Maybe they will bring out lots of these sort of epic collection-like books and go over many of the Golden Age ones that have not been reprinted. Don't know why they haven't done them. So many things like Robot Man would be brilliant. Obviously, recently Detective Chimp came out, but I would love to see Rex the Wonder Dog, that sort of series. Backlash, obviously a 60s one. That would be great to see. Lots of ones that have never come out in colour. That would be just great. Also, this one, The Art and History of Lettering Comics. I love those sort of books. Expected 7th of November, but that date has been changing and changing and changing. So I'm not optimistic it's going to be this year. Hopefully it will. Maybe it will. By Todd Klein. There's a blog about lettering comics. Really sounds a really fascinating book with all the... And lettering is, of course, key important thing in comic books. So you've got to, to the style of lettering, how lettering is done, obviously all the EC comics, all that sort of stuff. Just great to find out a lot more about lettering. It's one of those things that's sort of ignored, but super important in books. And this one, disappointingly, was going to be coming about 2 days ago. Suddenly it's not, but that's typical for Amazon. I don't know why. Their distribution is always odd. It's probably already out, maybe in Forbidden Planet and Gosh, etc. I don't know. And that's Judge Dredd by Brian Bolland. Now, this was originally brought out, obviously, in a massive, thick, hardback book. And I love Judge Dredd, Brian Bolland's work. Absolute masterpiece. I've got a few examples of those. And obviously in the Judge Dredd collections. But this one is the original artwork in inked version, like the gallery editions, like the various artist editions, artisan editions. So this one's an artisan called Masterpiece Edition. So this is coming out now, 27th of June, hopefully. So I look forward to see that, maybe. Maybe it might go into July, who knows. And then there's John Romita's The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2 Artisan Edition. Really looking forward to that. Should feature a lot of great John Romita's work. I hope they bring out more of these. Artisan editions seem to be quite slow of late. I didn't get the EC one. I think that's available now. If you want EC covers, because I've got the EC covers in the artist edition, I'm not going to buy both. So this one is the Artisan Edition Volume 2. And also the Mighty Marvel Calendar Book of Visual History. And this is 16th of January 2025. I don't put much faith in this. Is from Abraham Comic Arts. The lettering one, the same. Sort of drift quite a lot. So I really, really hope this does come out. Because Mighty Marvel Calendar Book, I love those calendars. When I grew up, I was always getting those calendars. And this book, Visual History, should be absolutely superb. And I've enjoyed every single Abraham book I've ever bought. Actually, I mean, did order, cancelled, did order, cancelled, did order the Spider-Man panel one. And I'm just going to have a quick look. Is that out yet? Spider-Man, have you got that? Do you know if it exists? Panel by panel. Panel by panel. I got the Fantastic Four one. No. No, it's the Fantastic Four one is really good. Not for everyone. I know a lot of people put comments saying they really didn't like it. I loved it. Thought it was a great idea. This was by Chip Kidd. I love his work, Chip Kidd's work. He sort of lays out and sort of blows into particular scenes. And you can look at a comic in a different way, I think, when you have that. Though personally, I would have done it slightly different from the way he's done it. However, that's bye-bye. Spider-Man panel by panel, now still listed 7th of December 2023. Hardcover, currently unavailable. I hope that does come out. I think that was going to have Amazing Fantasy 15, obviously, and also Spider-Man #1, and I think that was it. Might have had something else. But for some weird reason, it's been unavailable. I noticed still on the Abraham's comic art. If you know anything more about that, that'd be brilliant to find out. So that's a general run-through of the things I've watched. Obviously, I've watched the England football matches, which I'm not going to talk about. And then also, of course, other films. I've recorded loads of odd films from Talking Pictures TV. Love Talking Pictures TV. So, I say, please comment about all the various things that you've watched, books you've been buying, comics you've been buying. So I haven't been buying many comics of late, but I hope to buy some soon enough, and I will do obviously a book haul / comic haul of all those very, very shortly. Bye.